I don't think the average man knows how to survive a forest either.
I think that the average man can survive in the forest a lot better than the average woman. They're just stronger, right? They're built stronger.
I don't know what, like, have you seen like the Boy Scouts or people that do like camping? Like, it's not about just being strong. Like, it's such a retarded fucking take. Like, what do you think it means to survive in the wilderness? Like, having the ability to box bears? Like, what do you think you're actually doing? If I had to guess with very limited information, my guess is it probably has to like know about like, well, how do you set like a fucking tent up? Okay, how do you identify safe to eat shit or foraging or whatever? Or how do you keep track of like your shit or where you are and how do you stay dry? It's probably, I doubt much of it has to do with like, can you bench press 225 pounds? Like if a jackal comes up to your camp, are you able to kick dirt hard enough into its eyes to blind it? Like, how, I feel like anytime you're in a confrontation like this, you've already made a huge fucking mistake.
Just do tasks that most average women can't do.
Yeah, but I also
she should ask him. She should push him on that. Give me an example. You're dropped in a forest. What are the first things that you do for survival, Andrew? Tell us. Yeah, what, do you punch the wood until it becomes a campfire? Please tell us. What is the first thing that you do? Like,
acquired prerequisite strength, right?
Well, I think women do have the strength to live in a forest, just like how men have the strength to live in the forest. But I understand your point. You're saying, let's say there's like a heavy log or something you have to move out of the way. A man is going to be a lot better at that task than a woman.
Well, no, it's not just that. It's just even tool making requires physical strength.
I don't even know what tool making he would be talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, like...
Does he know? Also, heads up, by the way, the whole point of tools is to make your job easier. Tools are literally made so you don't need a lot of strength to use them. That's why things like torque and leverage and all these tool ideas exist. If you use a tool for a thing and it's really difficult to use the tool, then you need a different tool, okay? If you do any kind of manual labor or blue-collar work, this is the very first thing. I learned this like, I think it was like day 3. I don't even remember what I was doing. I think I was trying to disengage carpet from a corner of a wall, and there's a kicker that you can use to do it, or there's like a stretcher you can use. And I remember I spent like 5 minutes trying to kick this carpet out of the corner. And I think Dale was the guy with me that day. And he's watching me do this for like a minute. And then finally he's like, "You having some trouble there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is really hard. The carpet's not disengaging because you've got there's tack strips all around the room or whatever to disengage the carpet." And he's like, and I remember he told me something. I guess it made sense. He's like, "The whole reason why we have trucks full of tools is to make this shit easy. Who are you trying to impress? Like using the kicker to disengage the carpet? Like go get the stretcher or whatever, push one lever. There's a reason why we bring it on our truck. Why would you sit here and fight with this when you can just get an easier tool to make the job easier? That's the whole reason we have tools." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." My uncle was the same too. Yeah, I guess. I didn't learn that until later from him though.
I can still make a tool. Maybe it'll take me a little bit longer, but it's not going to be the end all be all. But the point that I'm trying to get across, or what I'm trying to say, is that
what tools are you making? I'm just so curious what he's referring to. What tool making thing are we talking about here?
Dice on whether there's a chance that the guy is like insane and wants to like kill me or do bad things to me.
If you're such a savage, you can live in a forest. If you're just dropped in a forest with no equipment and you can just survive in there, then why aren't you savage enough to take care of yourself from a man?
These are two totally different types of challenges. It's like so retarded. It's like people think that real life is an RPG, and it's like once you hit level 52, you've unlocked physics, chemistry, and engineering, and then when you hit like level 70, now you've unlocked survival and like hand-to-hand combat. Like totally different skill sets for totally different things, you know?
What is it? There's a very big difference between being in a forest, like trying to scavenge for your own,
yes,
like hunt for fish, whatever, start a fire, versus having somebody actively attack you.
How would you hunt for fish if you were in a forest?
If there's like a, what is it, like a freshwater stream or lake or something.
Yeah, how? How would you do it?
Ideally, I would find some sort of like small insect or bait or something like that. Try to do something.
Don't play this game. Pixie, if you don't know how to fish, I don't know how the fuck to fish. Don't act, just say, I don't know, how the fuck would you do it? Have you gone fishing before? Do you know how to fish?
Something maybe with like the lining of like leaves or something, basically like a little rod maybe, and use that to try to lure in the fish.
That's how you would try to catch fish in a forest?
I'm not an expert at catching fish, but if our ancestors did it for thousands of years, I'm sure that I can figure out a way through trial and error.
If I were to take what you're saying at face value, that necessarily through...
What am I hearing?
On this as well. This is all CDC information, by the way. If I were to take what you're saying at face value, that
It's a watch party. Oh, this is the Crucible. Oh, me. I thought. Oh, I didn't even realize what channel it was on.
necessarily through epigenetic leaps that men and women, by the way, would suddenly begin to have different interests.
Not suddenly, it would be gradual. But
Well, but how? You said, what do you mean gradual? Like how long? Because you said it could happen very, very quickly.
It can happen very quickly.
Well, how,
She said epigenetic changes can happen quickly, but an epigenetic change doesn't necessarily imply like a whole change in like preference for jobs or whatever. Or
well, but how? You said, what do you mean gradual? Like how long? Because you said it could happen very,
It can
very
happen
quickly.
very quickly.
Well, how quickly?
It could theoretically, or certain changes could happen within a generation.
Yeah. So
But-
this is CDC info. Most female jobs. This is according to the. I'm sorry, the BLS. These jobs have. So this
But-
is CDC info. Most female jobs. This is according to the. I'm sorry, the BLS. These jobs have the highest percent.
as a society as a whole, if labor is less important because we have machinery to do it instead, you would find both men and women more in service sector jobs, which
But
we
you're
have seen.
not. You're seeing mostly women in those jobs, and that's what I'm going to show you.
Yeah, no, the amount.
isn't all of society tending towards more service jobs? What is he citing here? He said BLS and CDC. BLS is Bureau of Labor Statistics. I don't know if they actually publish studies. They might publish like summaries of different job types or something maybe, but I don't know if the BLS, they might actually. I mean, BLS study on women versus men's job. It'd be nice to be like referenced, like an actual, like the names of a study or something. I feel like you're mostly just going to see them publishing like just like little tidbits of data. Yeah.
Of men who are now like in STEM in general, like the United States as a whole is a
Men
service-based
have always
economy.
been in STEM. Men have always
No,
been
no,
dominant
not
in
just
STEM.
not always. We have seen
No,
an
men have
increase-
always been dominant
I'm not.
in STEM.
I'm saying that.
He's playing a game here. God, he's so bad faith. This is boring. Men have always been dominant in STEM. Yeah, as a percentage of the people in the field, they have been. But as a percentage of like all of your men in society, more and more people, I'm pretty sure, are moving towards like college-educated work. That's been like a trend in society. Like the necessity for a college degree has grown as time has gone on for jobs. But he's being bad faith in here.
That doesn't matter because I'm saying that when we compare manual labor jobs to service jobs, we have seen a vast increase in service-based jobs versus manual labor jobs in the United States. That is just objectively true.
Yeah,
because
that
we are a
women
service-based
women
economy.
do, which is the exact same jobs
No,
they were
men
always
have
doing.
also done more service-based jobs.
Yeah.
More people are lawyers,
But
doctors,
most,
software,
most
even just
wait. Men have always been in those fields.
That
He's
is-
obfuscating. He knows he's being bad faith here. Okay, I think he knowingly is. He's trying to play mind games here. He can't be this stupid. I don't think he is. I think he's knowingly playing word games here. Like, men have always done these jobs. No. She's talking about a percentage increase in the type of work that we do, like the conversion to like a service economy versus a manufacturing economy or whatever, right?
more people are lawyers,
But
doctors,
most,
software,
most,
even just
wait. Men have always been in those fields.
That's-
Always
you're-
been in those
you're-
fields.
Maybe I'm not explaining my point clearly enough.
No, you are. He's just being bad faith and he's trying to trip you up on it.
The point that I'm trying to get across is that as manual labor has become less important in the United States, there's an increase of men doing more of those jobs. So before
Service
it might have been
jobs.
like, hey, maybe I'm going to go.
But
work in the
why
factory.
don't we?
Wait, let me finish.
Yeah,
let me
but this
finish.
makes the argument makes no
please let me
sense.
finish.
I'll steel man the argument. That
You
way,
can't. Okay, let's see what a steelman is.
you know, I understand it.
Okay.
The argument that you're making is, as these other service sectors have opened up, men are gravitating into those service sectors instead of just manual labor, right?
Kind of, I guess.
Yes.
Then how come women aren't gravitating towards the manual labor sections?
Because everybody's leaving the manual labor jobs, right? Everybody is moving out of that into more service-based work. No? I shouldn't say service, actually, because I guess some of those jobs could be, like, if you're a maid or whatever, that would count as service work, right?
Because the manual labor sections have been either taken over by technology
No, they haven't.
or
Roofing? Has roofing been taken over by technology?
no, but what is it? It doesn't necessarily. I'm trying to think of
Has construction been taken over by technology? Roofing? Has even gardening, basic gardening?
Construction been taken over by technology. You don't think that construction hasn't been like significantly changed or improved by the presence of technology on work sites? It must have been, no? I feel like I see a lot of crazy tools, and when they were building the fucking building next to my apartment complex in Miami, I'm sure there are still lots of like manual labor jobs available, but I'm sure that technology has changed a lot of this as well, no? That'd be my guess, but
What about lawn mowing, lawn care? In fact, almost all labor I can think of, which now is heavily inundated with machines, still totally dominated by men. Almost
But
no
there's a
women do
lot
it at
less
all.
men in average doing those jobs compared to before because you have had machinery
Yeah, dude,
replaced.
but-
If it took three,
but this argument still makes no sense.
please. If it took 5 men to redo a roof or whatever,
Sure.
now it takes 2, right?
Yeah, why isn't one of them a woman?
No, because the point is, as a society as a whole,
he's missing the point so much. Is there new technology for roofing? I have no fucking idea. I don't know anything about roofers. I have no clue.
we have just moved away from manual labor. So obviously,
This
a
argument
woman
makes no
Yes,
sense.
it does make sense. It's very simple.
Okay, give it to me again.
Yeah, here.
Okay.
Manual labor jobs have become less important.
Yep.
We have found technology to basically help replace a lot of the brute force or strength that we needed before.
Agree.
So the vast majority of people, men and women, are now more inclined towards service sector jobs.
Okay, so I don't understand though. Are you implying that women were doing manual labor
No,
jobs
I'm
before?
not implying women were doing
so
manual
then
labor
if that is
before.
true, and women were not doing manual labor jobs before, and now you have machinery which are assisting in these manual labor jobs, why aren't women gravitating towards those jobs? All you're saying to me is, as manual labor jobs have decreased, all right, because the market demand, men who ordinarily would take those jobs move into things which aren't manual labor. That is not a argument
Yeah.
at all
Oh my
for
God.
any epigenetic stride at all. That's just, I'm going to take this thing away, so now you have no access to it because it's not available, so you have to do something else. That doesn't mean that their
The
interests
argument-
still aren't here. It just means it's not available. Why aren't women taking those jobs?
Okay, this is fucking retarded. Okay.